Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Fulk and I am a student researcher at Florida State University, and here's my project on fatal anti-transgender violence in America, building a database of transgender homicide with Professor Lance and my fellow researchers. So, researchers argue that anti-transgender homicide is an increasingly violent epidemic that proves transphobia is still prominent and dangerous in American society. As you can see here, the purpose of our research project is to create a database that includes all known anti-transgender homicides in the United States between 2015 and 2020. Though we were only able to code about 89 cases before I presented at the FURC research conference, so we coded from about 2018 to 2020. While this may not be a direct solution to the social issue that is anti-transgender violence, it is a start to documenting the lives that were lost to this form of violence and increasing society's knowledge about the dangers transgender people face on a daily basis. So as you can see, within the field of criminology, it is especially crucial that our project include homicide variables particularly relevant to transgender deaths. So we coded for the presence of dead naming by police in news reports and whether police are investigating these cases as hate crimes in the states they occur. Something super important to pay attention to on my poster is the key takeaways in the middle portion and the analysis on the right column, because that includes some of the information about those specific variables as well as the hate crime statistics that we were able to collect. One of our major milestones is that we were able to code every anti-transgender homicide case from 2018 to 2020, as I previously stated. Something I did want to touch on about this poster specifically is that I included a picture of Tony McDade at the bottom, specifically because that anti-transgender homicide occurred in 2020 in Tallahassee, which is where I currently live, and my research team and I felt that it was important to include his narrative and to speak his name as we talked about this project, alongside the other victims whose narratives deserve to be shared through our data. I also included a picture from an LGBTQ pride parade that says trans rights are human rights, to reiterate the purpose of our research, which is really lifting up the names of transgender lives that have been lost to this form of violence, as well as researching and dedicating our time and our energy to making sure that we can identify the perpetrators that are committing this violence. I do want to thank Professor Brendan Lance, my research supervisor and professor, for bringing me onto the team as a social sciences major who had no experience in criminology and allowing me to contribute to this meaningful, potentially life-saving project if we get to that point. And I also want to thank my fellow research team, which is listed up at the top, for also volunteering their time and energy to this project alongside me to make sure that transgender narratives are shared within the world of academia. Take your time to go through my poster that is attached as a PDF below and pay special attention to the future research for this project, because this is only preliminary data that I was able to provide you all. Once this data set is complete from about 2010 to 2020 and beyond, we want it to be an ongoing project where we collect information. We plan to specifically look at police and community responses to these cases, and we want to create a regional variation cross-examination to see how state policies connect to the way that these cases are investigated or not investigated, and to be able to develop some sort of response to that as well. So thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope you enjoy my project.